Can you imagine that one day your 3-year-old son is gonna grow up and hear this record that this young lady Megan wrote dissing your husband and your family, and he is going to have to come to understand the legal meaning of the term Megan's Law. Look it up. Can you imagine that one day your baby is going to go on the internet and see all the evil remarks made about his family, made about his father, despite the fact that his father's own accused retracted the claims made against him years ago? And can you imagine that when you try to stand up for the man that you've made a lifetime commitment to, when you try to stand up for your son, people call it spiraling?
Nicki Minaj chose a serial offender to make a baby with, and you come here to tell people that they shouldn't call her out for doing that, and you say her baby's gonna grow up and find out about the Megan's Law, and he's gonna be so worried, traumatized. Are you for real? Are you for real? Because in my opinion, that baby is gonna grow up and find out that a baby was essayed and unalived, and this baby had justice because the Megan's Law was passed. And in essence, the Megan's Law is going to protect all the babies in the world. It's there for protecting kids, and he's going to be so proud of the Megan's Law, not about his dad, who is one of the perpetrators of. For all those supporting and defending Nicki Minaj, you all need to take a chill pill. I mean, why does Nicki, who is a global icon, who is a woman who is so popular that most of the men want to have her, but she decides to go make a baby with an offender? She's even married to this offender, right? How is that possible? And you all are still have fans. Does this mean that you all support SA and LAP? Do you all do that? I can't really say it on TikTok because my video might be shadow banned or blocked. But you all know what I'm talking about. So why are you all going about dragging people? Because people are telling you all the truth. Nicki is married to an offender. Kenneth Petty, a petty thief. Yeah? So guys, check this out and let's continue to talk about it. More.
Conversation around Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion has honestly shocked me, because the media has been using the fact that Nicki Minaj is 41 years old, the fact that she's a global superstar, the fact that she is wealthy, to invalidate the fact that she's actually a human being. Can you imagine being an incredible female rapper, literally the queen of hip-hop, and 99.9% of the subs and disses that the other rap girls in the industry throw at you are not even about you. They're about your husband. Can you imagine if every jab that the media takes at you, every jab that people on the internet take at you, don't have anything to do with you? It has to do with accusations about your husband. Accusations that were made about your husband when he himself was a child, by the way. Accusations about a man who is not only your husband, but the father of your child. Can you imagine that in the world of hip-hop, the rap girlies can't write anything about you. They can't come at you for anything you've done. So they constantly attack your husband and your family. Can you imagine that one day your 3-year-old son is gonna grow up and hear this record that this young lady Megan wrote dissing your husband and your family, and he is going to have to come to understand the legal meaning of the term Megan's Law? Look it up. Can you imagine that one day your baby is going to go on the internet and see all the evil remarks made about his family, made about his father, despite the fact that his father's own accused retracted the claims made against him years ago? And can you imagine that when you try to stand up for the man that you've made a lifetime commitment to, when you try to stand up for your son, people call it spiraling? Because you're not allowed to defend your family when people attack your family, because you're a global superstar, you're already wealthy, and you're too old, because when you turn 40, you're supposed to just roll over and die. Can you imagine that? Like, since when is there an age limit on defending yourself? And so when Nicki mentions this woman's family, she's taking it too far, right? Because it's okay when other people attack Nicki's husband and Nicki's child and Nicki's little family. That's not taking it too far. But as soon as Nicki responds, mentioning this young lady's family, she's taken it too far. The hypocrisy in this situation is glaring. It's impossible to not see how hypocritical the media and folks on social media have been. And while it might be cool to make a hit comment on the Shade Room or make a viral tweet, just remember that you're doing that at the expense of someone's family. And remember that this person is also a human being, no matter how rich, no matter how famous.
The only hypocrisy I see here is you talking about the other lady, Megan Thee Stallion, and not criticizing your superstar, Nicki Minaj. Another hypocrisy is that you are defending an ex-offender. Another point is this. You talked about her 3-year-old son growing up and getting to know the legal meaning of the Megan's law. Let me tell you, that child, when he grows up and find out the meaning of the Megan's law, he will be so proud and so honored to know that the law was passed to defend and protect kids. I don't know if you know the meaning of the Megan's law, but if you don't know the meaning of the Megan's law, take a look at this video.
What was Megan Thee Stallion talking about when she referenced Megan's law? If this law existed, 7-year-old Megan Conca wouldn't have been essayed and killed. Jesse Timandekas had served time for 2 previous convictions for essay against children, but still he was able to move across the street from 7-year-old Megan Conca and her family. Her parents had no idea that the man who seemed to be chilling in his yard every time Megan went out to play or draw with sidewalk chalk was watching her and waiting for the time to strike. On July 29, 1994, he lured the child into his house under the pretense that she could play with his new puppy. He essayed her, but because he didn't want her to report it, he strangled her with a belt. And he dumped her body in the nearby park. And the next day, he confessed to police and led them to the dump site. Evidence included bloodstains, hair samples, and a bite mark on Jesse's hand because Megan had tried to fight back. He was initially given the death penalty, but the state of New Jersey changed this to life in prison without parole. And because Megan's family had no idea that they were living across the street from someone who had committed violent crimes against children, they fought to have a federal law passed in Megan's name. Megan's law requires law enforcement to make info on offenders public. By being a registered offender, you're added to the offender registry that includes your name, crimes, and address, and you must alert the government if you move. Before Megan's law, only 5 states required people like this to register, as required in the Jacob Wetterling Act, which I covered in a separate video. Together, the Wetterling Act and Megan's law protect the public in 2 ways. 1, the registry itself, and 2, community notification for the public. Megan's law would have given Megan's family the chance to protect her. And looking up the list of offenders in your area is something I recommend for everybody to do, and let me know if you want me to make a tutorial on how to do that. So when Megan Thee Stallion referenced Megan's law in her newest diss track, she was referencing the fact that Nicki Minaj is married to a offender. If you like this video, give me a...
So guys, I didn't know about this Megan's law, and this fight between Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj has given me the opportunity to learn about the Megan's law. And this law is a very good law. It's a law that will protect children against offenders, and it also gives parents and families information about offenders who live in their neighborhood, in their address, in their postcodes, so that before you make a decision to go live somewhere, you know whether it is safe for you and your family. Is this not a good law? For me, I think this is a game changer. And for the other video, the girl was talking about how Nicki Minaj's son is going to grow up and find out about the law and then blah, 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 blah. Guys, wouldn't you? I don't know, I'm so excited about this law. And I know for sure that Nicki Minaj's son is going to grow up, and when he gets to find out about the law, he's going to be so happy. But the problem here is when he grows up and finds out that his mommy decided to marry or have him with a sex offender. Oh my God. Oh my God.